Good morning, everyone. My name is Joanne Teo, and today I will be presenting my business ethics assignments entitled An Analysis of Boeing's Ethical Issues, Safety, Corporate Governance, and Public Trust. In this presentation, I will first introduce Boeing and its main business operations. Then, I will discuss the ethical issue faced by the company, analyze its impacts using the PASTEL framework, present my recommendations, and finally, conclude with the key lessons that can be learned from this case. I choose Boeing because it is one of the world's leading aerospace companies, and its recently ethical issues have attracted global attention. I believe this case provides a valuable example of how ethical decisions can directly affect a company's reputation, stakeholder trust, and long-term business sustainability. Before discussing the ethical issue, let me briefly introduce Boeing. Boeing was founded in 1916 by William E. Boeing is headquartered in Arlington, Virginia, United States. Today, Boeing operates in more than 65 countries and employs approximately 170,000 employees, making it one of the largest aerospace companies in the world. Over the years, Boeing has become well known for its innovation and engineering excellence. However, because its products transport millions of passengers every year, the company also carries a very significant ethical responsibility. From my perspective, companies in the aviation industry are different from many other businesses because every manufacturing decision can directly affect human lives. Therefore, safety should never be treated as a secondary priority. Boeing operates through three major business segments. The first is Boeing Commercial Airplanes, which manufactures passenger aircraft such as the Boeing 737, 777, and 787 Dreamliner. The second is Defense, Space and Security, where Boeing develops military aircraft, satellites, and advanced defense technologies for governments around the world. The third is Boeing Global Services, which provides aircraft maintenance, engineering support, pilot training, and technical service. Although these business segments are different, they all depend on one important value, which is maintaining the highest standards of safety and quality. In my opinion, this makes business ethics especially important because customers trust Boeing to deliver products that are both reliable and safe. The ethical issue that I selected is the Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 incidents, which happened in January 2024, shortly after takeoff the door plug of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 detached from the aircraft. Fortunately, there were no fatalities, but the incident shocked the aviation industry and attracted worldwide attention. Investigators later discovered that four important bolts had not been installed before the aircraft was delivered. This was not simply a technical failure, it reflected weakness in quality control, accountability. From my perspective, the incident shows that even a small manufacturing mistake can have very serious consequences when safety is involved. After analyzing this case, I found that Boeing's problem goes beyond engineering or manufacturing. One major issue was the pressure to increase production, which may have influenced decisions related to quality control. Another issue was the of the internal inspection system to detect critical defects before the aircraft enter service. There were also concerns about organizational transparency and leadership accountability because similar safety issues had occurred previously. Personally, I believe ethical failure rarely happen because of one single mistake. Instead, they usually develop when small problems are ignored over a long period of time. This case clearly shows the importance of building a strong ethical culture throughout the entire organization. The first two impacts are political and economic. Politically, Boeing faced stricter supervision from the Federal Aviation Administration or FAA. The company was also restricted from increasing production until regulators were satisfied with its safety improvements. Economically, Boeing experienced delivery delays, increased operating costs, legal expenses, and declining investor confidence. In my opinion, these financial losses could have been reduced if stronger quality control had been implemented earlier. This demonstrates that ethical business practices are not only morally important but also financially beneficial. The incident also created significant social and technological impacts. Socially, Boeing suffered a major loss of public trust. Passengers became more concerned about aircraft safety, and the company's reputation was damaged by continuous negative media coverage. Technologically, the incidents highlight weakness in manufacturing quality control and inspection systems. As a result, Boeing now needs to invest more in improving production process and strengthening quality assurance. I believe technology alone cannot solve ethical problems without responsible leadership and a strong ethical culture. Even advanced technology may not be enough to preempt future incidents. Besides the previous impact, there were also environmental and legal consequences. The repeated inspections, replacement of defective aircraft parts, and production delays require additional materials, energy, and transportation. These activities indirectly increase waste and resource consumption. Although safety must always come first, better quality control from the beginning could have reduced these environmental impacts. Legally, Boeing faced investigation by the FAA, the National Transportation Safety Board, and the U.S. Department of Justice. The company also faced several lawsuits related to product quality and passenger safety. This shows that ethical failure also created consequences and that extend far beyond the organization itself. My first recommendation is to strengthen independent safety oversight. Boeing has already improved inspections and cooperated closely with the FAA. However, believe the company should establish an independent safety committee that reports directly to the board of directors. This committee should regularly review manufacturing process and conduct independent safety audits. Although this recommendation requires additional investments and may slow production in the short term, it will significantly improve accountability and public confidence. My second recommendation is to develop a stronger ethical leadership culture. Although Boeing has appointed a new CEO and placed greater emphasis on safety, I believe ethical leadership should become part of the company's everyday culture rather than depending on one individual. Managers should be evaluated based not only on financial performance but also on integrity, accountability, and responsible decision making. Changing organizational culture takes time, but it is one of the most effective ways to prevent similar ethical failures from happening again. My third recommendation is to strengthen whistleblower protection. Employees should feel safe to report quality or safety concerns without worrying about retaliation. This would help management identify potential problems before they become major crises. My final recommendation is to improve transparency with stakeholders. Boeing should continue publishing regular safety updates and communicate openly with regulators, customers, and investors. In my opinion, transparency is one of the most effective ways to rebuild public trust because people are more likely to support a company that is willing to admit mistakes and demonstrate continuous improvements. In conclusion, Boeing's recent crisis demonstrates that business ethics is closely connected to organizational success. The incident was not only a technical problem but also highlighted weakness in leadership, quality management, and corporate governance. By strengthening safety oversight, promoting ethical leadership, protecting whistleblowers, and improving transparency, Boeing can gradually rebuild stakeholder confidence and achieve sustainable business growth. Overall, this case has taught me that business success should never be measured by profit alone. Instead, true success depends on integrity, accountability, and a genuine commitment to protecting the interests of customers and society. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.